السلام الله وبركاته بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Today we are going to talk about تقديم المفعول به. So sometimes you can bring the object before. Like for example, ضرب زيد حامدا. Zaid hit Hamid. So you can bring it before. ضرب حامدا زيد. You can do that. But there are some places it's mandatory to do it. And when is that? I'll give examples now. الأمثلة أدرس وتأمل قواعد اللغة وإذا ابتلى إبراهيم ربه بكلمات. When Ibrahim was tested by his Lord, that is, his Lord tested him. Ibrahim with words, kalimatin, or sentence, whatever. It could be kalimatin. Because kalima in grammar means words, but in general usage, it could be sentences like kalima, kalimatu la ilaha illallah. It could be a sentence also. كل ما جاء أمة رسولها كذبوه. Every time and its messenger came to its ummah, they belied him, they rejected him. إنما يخشى الله من عباده العلماء. يخشى الله. So how do you translate إنما? Only يخشى الله, they fear Allah min ibadi, from slaves, the scholars. Or scholars. That means the scholars are the ones who fear Allah from his slaves. وَلَسَوْفَ يُعْتِيكَ رَبُّكَ فَتَرْضَى. And surely your Lord will give you and you will be pleased. So notice here, we have to bring the object first because there's a pronoun which is going back to Ibrahim, for example, here. So we cannot say وَإِذِ ابْتَلَى رَبُّهُ إِبْرَاهِيمَ. His Lord tested him and then say Ibrahim again. No, we cannot do that. So when there's a damir, that's what the first rule is. You need to bring maf'ulun bihi muqaddam. Then we have ba, daraba Isa Musa. Isa hit Musa. Here you cannot bring Musa first because you cannot see who hit who because the endings are not clear. Then we have innama daraba Zaydun Amran. Zaid only hit Amr. Here also you have to bring it later on because we use innama. Fahimtu darsa, I learned the lesson. Inna a'tainaka al-kawthar. I understood the lesson. Indeed, we have given you the kawthar. Then you have jim. وَلَقَدْ جَاءَ آلَ فِرْعَوْنَ النُّذُرُ. Surely the warnings have come to Ala Fir'aun, the family of Fir'aun. جَاءَتِ النُّذُرُ آلَ فِرْعَوْن. The warnings have come to Ala Fir'aun. Then you have dal فَأَيَّ آيَاتِ اللَّهِ تُنْكِرُونَ. Ayya is maf'ulun bihi for tunkirun. So in questions, so which verses of Allah do you reject? Ankara yunkiru. Reject or bilaya. Tunkirun is similar to kadhibun. فَأَمَّا الْيَتِيمَ فَلَا تَقْهَرْ. As for the orphans, do not rebuke him. فَفَرِيقًا كَذَّبْتُمْ وَفَرِيقًا تَقْتُلُونَ. So you've killed one group or belied one group and you've killed one group. Okay, so let's look at these examples. تأمل الأمثلة السابقة تجد أفعالها متعدية. You'll find that the verbs, so first things first, the verbs are متعدي. متعدي in the sense transitive, no? رفعت فاعلا ونصبت مفعولا به أو أكثر. That means it'll have a file as well as a مفعول به or more. أمعن النظر. Deepen your vision. أمعن means deepen. Look closely. في المفاعيل التي تحتها خط which are underlined. The مفعولs which are underlined تجد أحيانا متقدمة على الفاعل وأحيانا متأخرة عنه. So sometimes they are preceded and sometimes they come later. بل قد تتقدم على الفعل والفاعل. And sometimes rather it could precede the verb also, like here فريقا كذبتم, and فاعل also. So مفعول به could come before everything else. So general order should be فعل فاعل مفعول. Correct? فعل فاعل ومفعول. ضرب زيد عمرا أو حامدا. But we can say ضرب حامدا زيد or حامدا ضرب زيد because مفعول به can come anywhere. عد الآن إلى أمثلة ألف تجد المفعول به تقدم على الفاعل وجوبا. In this, look at the first four examples. It is mandatory that you have to bring مفعول به. ففي أول والثاني الفاعل فيه ضمير يعود إلى مفعول به ربه ورسولها. So the ربه وإذ ابتلى إبراهيم ربه, there's a ضمير pronoun which is going back to. You cannot start with his Lord tested Ibrahim, because who's this his Lord then? So you have to say when Ibrahim was tested by his Lord. In English, you have to do it that way, I guess. Or we have to translate his Lord. That means Rabbuhu. That when Ibrahim's Lord tested him. وَرَسُولُهَا, and her messenger. Oh, its messenger. أمة. والضمير لا يعود إلا إلى المتقدم رتبة أو لفظا. A pronoun will not go back to something which is متقدم, which is preceding رتبة. رتبة means rank wise. Like فعل, فاعل, مفعول, no? This is like a rank. Rank 1, 2, 3. أو لفظا, or sometimes, so 1, 2, 3, فعل, فاعل, مفعول. You can sometimes do it like that. So لفظا, at least you can do maybe 1, 3, 2. So 1, 2, 3, فعل, فاعل, مفعول. You can say 1, 3, 2, that is فعل, مفعول, فاعل. So مفعول, رتبة should come later. If I want, I could show you why right now. So فعل, let's name it 1. And then مفعول, let's name it 2. And oh, sorry, file should be 2, no? That is ranking. File should be 2, and then مفعول should be 3. Correct? مفعول به should be 3. Now the original order should be فعل, file, مفعول. Correct? فعل, file, so the 1, 2, 3. So this is called rutbatan, is also in the correct order. Lafzan also is correct order. Correct? Yeah, obviously. Now we can do 1, 3, 2. Now, is it rutbatan in the correct order? 1, 3, 2. Well, rutbatan, it's 3 has come. Rutbatan, it is in correct order. That means, I mean, it's fine. So the rutba, all the 3 ranks are mentioned. So that's called rutba, no? So mafulun bihi can be, can come before. So this is fine, rutbatan also, because this is allowed. But lafzan means word level wise, it's 1, 3, 2. So is this allowed? Yes, it's allowed. For example, I cannot start with 2 and then do 1 and then 3. And this is not allowed, rutbatan wa lafzan. It is not allowed, because fa'il can never come before fa'il. This can never come before fa'il. So this is not allowed. So you understand rutba, ranking level, or lafzan. So either it should go back to something which is rutbatan, to something which is ranking, or it should go back to the word level. I mean, I just can't, but this is allowed. For example, 3, 1, 2. This is allowed. Why? This is not allowed. This is allowed. Why is it allowed? Because this is mafulun bihi, this is fa'il, and this is fa'il. So fa'il and fa'il should always come one after the other. You cannot say start with a fa'il and then bring the fa'il, because rutbatan la yajuz. Ranking wise, it's not allowed. Love 1, you can play this game. You can play 3, 1, 2. So notice 3 can go anywhere. Mafulun bihi can go anywhere, generally speaking. And sometimes it's mandatory, like here, you have to bring this first. Why? Because now these guys have a pronoun, which will go back to this. So in Arabic, it should be actually, the number should be from the right side. So it'll be 3, 1, 2, 1, 3. If you imagine Arabic, this is the mafulun bihi, and then we have the fa'il and the fa'il. Now this fa'il has, or attached thing to this, has returning to this. So this is allowed. You understand? But I just try to explain. I have to do grammar books more for that. وفي الثاء that's why this book is not that great for grammar. You just get to know. If you've already done grammar, then this is a good review book, but not literally. But yeah, maybe more exercises you might understand. رتبة and love, the difference. Uh, وفي الثالثة قد حصد الفاعل بإنما. And in the third one, the file has been حصد. حصد in the sense you have secluded it. You have besieged it kind of. في الرابع المفعول به ضمير متصل والفاعل اسم ظاهر. And in the fourth example, إنما, see this one, إنما يخشى الله من عباده العلماء. That means إنما العلماء يخشى الله. So no one else. So you've restricted the ones who fear. I mean Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, obviously. I mean the meaning has been restricted to scholars. So if this is scholars, the meaning has been restricted to this. Innama does that. This is called hasr. Yeah, that is called hasr. Okay, fine. And in the fourth one, it's damir dhahir. There's a وَلَسَوْفَ يُعْطِيكَ رَبُّكَ. Rabbuka is the file for this, and the ka is the مفعول به. عود إلى أمثلة با تجد على عكس الأولى حيث يجب تأخير المفعول به. In the ba, it has to come later. Why it has to come later? Because it's not clear. It has to come later. It is opposite. لرفع اللبس فيه. في خامس ولأن المفعول به محصور بإنما في السادس. So here, ضرب عيسى موسى, there's confusion. If you say Musa Isa, if you change it here, although Isa was the one who hit him, there's no endings to see here. So there'll be a confusion. And here, إنما ضرب زيد عمرا. Zaid only hit Amr. So we cannot say إنما عمرا ضرب زيد. Or, yeah. Or إنما ضرب عمرا زيد. We cannot do that, he says, because it has to come late because of إنما. إنما makes it hasr. So Zaid hit only Amr. Zaid hit only Amr. So they're called mahsur alayhi or something they call it. So because of innama we cannot do. So maf'ulun bihi is mahsur bi innama in 6-1. Because Zaid only hit Amr. So this is Amr, for example. Zaid did not hit this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. He only hit this guy. He only hit this guy. Fahimtu darsa. Here also, وَلِيَنَّ الْفَاعِلَ ضمير متصل ومفعول به اسم ظاهر في السابع. And in this one also you have to do it because the fa'il is ضمير متصل. The fa'il is attached. فهمت the two, no? والمفعول به اسم ظاهر. And المفعول به is a clear noun. في السابع, in the 7th one. فهمت الدرس. So you cannot say فهم الدرس أنا. You cannot do that. ولأن الفاعل والمفعول في به ضميران ولا حصر لأحدهما في الثامن. And فاعل and مفعول are pronouns and ولا حصر لأحدهما. There's no حصر for one of them. والأصل تقديم الفاعل. So the أصل is تقديم الفاعل. For the last one he says إنا, indeed we أعطيناك الكوثر. أعطيناك الكوثر. So there's both are pronouns, no? If both are pronouns, because ata takes two objects. So na is a pronoun, ka is also pronoun, so the asl is na should come first. Okay. All right. عود إلى أمثلة الجيم تجد أن تقديم المفعول به جائز وأصل تأخيره وذلك فيما عدا المواد السابقة في همزة وباء. You can call it hamza or alif, whatever. In Jim, it's allowed. You can do both. He gave both examples. وَلَقَدْ جَاءَ آلَ فِرْعَوْنَ النُّذُرُ وَلَقَدْ جاءت النُّذُرُ على فرعون في غير القرآن. وذي الأمثلة دال تجد المفعول به قد تقدم على الفعل وعلى الفاعل وجوبا. Return to the dal. It is mandatory here also because first one is because of question. وذلك إذا كان المفعول به من ألفاظ الصدارة. They are from the alfaz sadara. Alfaz sadara are the ones which have to come in the beginning, like questions, ayyu, ayya, ma, man, all these question ones, or a, كما في أحد عشر أو حادي عشر أو وقع الفعل بعد الفاء وليس له مفعول به غيره. all the verb has come after fa. فأما اليتيم فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر. وليس له مفعول به, and there's no مفعول به. So فلا تقهر, the verb has come late. So we need the مفعول به early. كما في الثاني عشر. عود إلى أمثلتها تدل المفعول به جائز التقديم على الفعل والفاعل. In her it's allowed, he says. ففريقا كذبتم, يعني كذبتم فريقا في قيد القرآن and so on. القاعدة. This is important. Ultimately, all this explanation was just explanation. What is the qaida in this? So, أصل رتبة المفعول به مفعول به متأخرة عن فعله. That's what he's explaining. أصل رتبته, the rutba, the ranking, or the level, how do you say rutba? Level, rank of the مفعول به should be after the file. So it should be فعل مفعول. This should be the actual rank 1, 2, 3. وقد تتغير هذه الرتبة. This رتبة can change. فتوسط المفعول به بين الفعل والفاعل. Between the fail and file, this مفعول به can come 1, 2, 3. So it will become 1, 3, 2. وقد يتقدم عليهما, and this can come before them. It could be 3, 1, 2. Correct? So 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, or 3, 1, 2. وهذا التقديم بنوعيه إما واجب أو ممتنع أو جائز. So this changing, this playing around with the words, it could be mandatory, it could be allowed, or it could be prohibited because it corrupts the meaning. No. أولا تقديم المفعول به على الفاعل فعل ومفعول وفاعل وهو واجب في المواضع التالية. So he's talking about 1, 3, 2. It could be wajib in the following places. It is wajib. إذا اتصل بالفاعل ضمير المفعول به. If the file, this file has a pronoun which goes back to the مفعول به. So it's, you have to do it in this order. Because if you have a pronoun here, you cannot, pronoun should go back to this. You cannot have a pronoun here and then it's going forward. Right? Pronouns don't go forward, they go backwards. Only reverse gear. Okay, this is the first, that if there's a pronoun which goes back. إذا حصل الفاعل بإنما. If the file is إنما, you use إنما in the starting. So when you use إنما, then you have to bring it later on. Because إنما has its rule, because you have to understand what is محصور and محصور عليه. For example, إنما ضرب زيد عمرا. إنما ضرب زيد. So Zaid only hit Amr. Only hit Amr. So that is إنما ضرب زيد عمرا. So Zaid is the one who's doing it. So who's the mahsur? The one which is being restricted is Amr. So he says we have to do إنما ضرب عمرا زيد. Because if you bring it later on, the meaning slightly changes. So Zaid only hit Amr. It could become Zaid only hit Amr. I mean, Zaid did not do anything except hitting. He just hit him, kind of. So the meaning changes like this. The other books refer to it like innama, what you should place first, what you should do after. So if it is husira, it is wajib, he says. You have to do this order if you use innama. So innama daraba zaydan hamidun. Something. إذا كان الفاعل اسم ظاهرا. Now the file, if this file is a clear noun. والمفعول به ضميرا متصلا. If this is a pronoun, obviously this should attach to this. ضربه زيد. Zaid hit him. Because this is a pronoun. Pronouns cannot come. Obviously, they don't. You cannot say ضرب زيد هو. That's not allowed, no? Because huwa is marfu, rafa. So you have to say ضربه زيد. So these three places, you have to bring maf'ulun bihi first. One, if there's a pronoun which is returning. Second, it's innama, you use innama. And third, if maf'ul, the object itself is a pronoun. I hope you get this, somebody. Like, for example, if you wanted me to give example, daraba, Daraba Zaydan. I'll use Hamid instead of Amr. Daraba Zaydan Sadiquhu. So his friend, I cannot say Daraba Sadiquhu Zaydan. His friend hit Zaid. No, I need to say Zaid's friend is the one who hit him. You understand? If you want to say it in other words, in mudaf ilayh, Daraba Sadiqu Zaydin Zaydan. All right, do you understand? This is what literally it means. Friend of Zaid hit Zaid. That means he hit the same guy. So why should we repeat Zaid? So we can do one way is this one. Darabahu Sadiqu Zaid. Correct? Or Daraba Zaydan Sadiquhu. So this is the first way. Daraba Zaydan Sadiquhu. The second is using innama. Innama daraba Zaydan Sadiquhu. Or no need to say Sadiquhu. Hamidun. So because you're using innama, if you say innama daraba Hamidun Zaydan, the meaning was like Hamid only hit him. He did not do anything else, kind of. That's what, from what I understand. But there's some technicalities to this, which I don't remember. But innama, he says you have to bring it first. Then the third is, if it's a pronoun, you're not bringing Z. So darabahu Hamidun. This is the way. So who, the pronoun is Mafool, So these places you have to bring it first. Bring the Mafool Bihi first, the object first. All right. ممتنع في المواضع التالية. It is prohibited. إذا خشي اللبس, if there's a doubt, like ضرب عيسى موسى, is there's labs there, no? There's confusion. Who's who? What's happening? Like that. وإذا كان المفعول به محصور بإنما, if the مفعول به is محصور بإنما. Now, he's using innama again. Innama daraba Zaydun Amran. Okay, so mahsurun. Now this meaning, notice here, innama yakhsha Allah min ibadihi al-ulama. Ulama has come late. Now innama, you want to change the mahsur. So let me just see what is innama's state. So with innama, from what I've understood till now, I think I read it somewhere. Ibn Aqil also has it in his sharh. So with innama, there's something called mahsur, which is restricted. Correct? So the meaning of these two statements, for example, innama daraba Zaydun, innama daraba Amran Zaydun, Amran Zaydun, and innama daraba Zaydun Amran. What's the difference between these two? Is that whenever you see innama, the last word after this is the one is called the mahsur, in which the action has been restricted. So here, the fa'il is the one who's been restricted, correct? So the meaning will be, Zaid was the only one who hit Amr. Right? You'll translate Zaid. So innama's effect will go to the last word, mahsur. So if you want to say mahsur is the fa'il, then you have to bring this mandatorily first. That means no one else hit Amr except Zaid. Ma daraba Amran illa Zaydun. Even with illa, we do that. So illa, after illa is called mahsur. No one did this except this guy. So Zaid was the one who hit. But here the meaning will change to Zaid only hit Amr. So innama will go to the last. Correct? I hope you understand. Right? Innama daraba Amran Zaydun. The meaning will be Zaid was the only one who hit Amr. And here Zaid hit no one but Amr. That means Zaid only hit Amr. Here the mahsur is Zaid. Here the mahsur is Amr. So you're restricting the action in the first one in Zaid. Zaid is the guy who hit Amr. And you're restricting the action in Amr. Amr is the one who got beaten up by Zaid. So that's the difference between this. So, innama yakhshallah min ibadihi ulama. Why did it come late? That means the scholars are the only one who fear Allah really. in reality from his slaves. But here, innama daraba Zaidun, Amr was the only one who Zaid hit. So Zaid hit only Amr. So here, mafulun bihi is mahsur, the fa'il is mahsur. So that's why, whichever you want to bring mahsur, you want to restrict that action into him, you bring it late. You bring it late. Okay. أو وقع الفعل بعد الفاعل وليس له مفعول. Where's the قاعدة? It's ممتنع إذا خشي اللبس إذا كان المفعول به محصورا بإنما. If the مفعول به is محصور بإنما. If the مفعول به you want to restrict the action to, you use in the end. You bring it in the end. Third, that means it's prohibited to bring it first. Because you want to say Amr was the only one Zaid hit. So you cannot bring Zaid Amr first. إذا كان الفاعل, if you're understanding well and good. Alhamdulillah. إذا كان little tricky if you know إنما and these things. إذا كان الفاعل ضميرا متصلا والمفعول به اسما ظاهرا. And if the file is a ضمير متصل attached pronoun فهمت درسا, so there also you cannot say فهم درسا تو, you cannot do that. إذا كان الفاعل والمفعول ضميرين ولا حصر على أحدهما, and fa'il and maf'ul are both are pronouns. So you'll go back to the original. So it is prohibited in 4 situations. You cannot bring maf'ulun bihi first. Then جائز فيما عدا المواضع السابقة ولست تأخذه, and it is allowed in all of the other situations. So in these 3 situations it's compulsory, 4 it's prohibited, and third is except these 7 ones, 4 plus 3, it's allowed. You can do whatever. ثانيا تقديم المفعول به على الفعل وفاعل مفعول به فعل فاعل واجب في موضعين. So this situation he's explained فعل مفعول فاعل. How about bringing مفعول and then فعل فاعل, bringing like 3 1 2 3 1 2? It is واجب إذا كان المفعول به لو صدر. مفعول به has to come first في الكلام كأسماء الاستفهام, like questions, أيام, you have to bring it first. إذا وقع الفعل بعد الفاء, if the verb occurs after the fa, وليس له مفعول غيره. So if the verb is coming after the fa and there's no مفعول به except than it, so it has to come before. And جائز فيما عدا ذلك, in others it's allowed, except all of this. Apart from all of these, it's allowed. Okay. So let's look at some examples from the Quran, and we should tell, is it wajib, is it jaiz, or is it mumtana'? Is it prohibited? وَرَبَّكَ فَكَبِّرْ, and your Lord glorify. So where's the maf'ulun bihi? It's the ka, no, here. This is ka. Is it allowed to say Rabba fakabbir ka anta? No, because it's a pronoun and the verb is coming after fa. So it's wajib. So you go back to the rules and try to understand. It's the last one. وَرَبَّكَ فَكَبِّرْ, this one. He gave example, no? This one. فَأَمَّا الْيَتِيمَ فَلَا تَقْهَرْ. This example it will fit in. Because it's coming after fa, so it is mandatory. يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ الظَّالِمِينَ مَعْذِرَتُهُمْ. And today it will not benefit the oppressors their excuses. So here it is also wajib again, because ma'adhiratum, there's a pronoun which is going back to dhalimin. So where's the maf'ulun bihi? This. So can you bring it later? No. You cannot say يوم لا ينفع غير القرآن يوم لا ينفع معذرتهم الظالمين, because whom, where's it going back to? You need something to go back to. You don't have anything to go back to except dhalimin. So you have to bring dhalimin first. فحاسبناها حسابا شديدا. So we حاسبناها, we accounted them with a strict accounting, reckoned them. فحاسبنا حاسبنا. So this is the maf'ulun bihi. This has not come first, no? Because both the pronouns, can we bring it before? No. Mumtana'. This is prohibited. So we cannot say fahasaba ha nahnu. We cannot do that. Or iyana. We cannot do that. No, it's mumtana'. It's prohibited. You cannot bring it because both the pronouns. So pronouns asl is If there's no mahsur or whatever, you have to, this is mumtani. So if you want, we can write down wajib, wajib. This is also wajib. I'll just write a few. ممتنع ممتنع وأعتدنا للظالمين عذابا أليما, and we have prepared for the oppressors a painful punishment. So where's the maf'ul bihi first? وأعتدنا للظالمين عذابا is the this thing, because للظالمين is not the, because li has come, no, this is just jar majrur. عذابا أليما, because what have we prepared for them? Punishment. So this is the object. So can I say في غير القرآن, of course, وَعَتَدْنَا عَذَابًا أَلِيمًا لِلظَّالِمِينَ? Yeah, I think so. No? Oh, it's mumtana here also. He wants in between. I mean, fail, file, maful. This can come later anyways. I cannot say وَعَتَدَ عَذَابًا نَحْنُ, because لِلظَّالِمِينَ we're not taking into consideration. I was thinking وَعَتَدْنَا عَذَابًا أَلِيمًا لِلظَّالِمِينَ. That is fine because there's fail, file, and maful. But we need, is it allowed that وَعَتَدْ وَعَتَجَ or أَعَدَّ أَعْتَدْنَا أَعْتَدَّ or اعتد أعتدنا أعد يعد أعتدنا. So it's not allowed. أعتدى, we cannot. عذابا نحن, we cannot do that. So ممتنع here also. إنما يخشى الله من عباده العلماء. Here it's ممتنع again. Here علماء, I mean it's wajib actually. It's wajib. Why is it wajib? It has to come late. You cannot bring it before. أيما تدعو فله الأسماء الحسنى. Here also it's wajib you bring it. Whatever you call, he has beautiful names. Call him with it. It's wajib, wajib, wajib. So all of these are wajib. So you understand? Wajib, when I'm talking about wajib, that means what? Fail, maful, file. This is what wajib means. It fail, maful, file. Maful can come in between fail and file. Wajib. And there are three situations, no? And mumtani', that is not allowed for maful to come in between in four situations. It's not allowed. So here, أيما تدعو فله الأسماء الحسنى. This ayyan is mafulun bihi. Ayyu, ayyan. This is mafulun bihi. It's wajib here to bring it first. ذلك بأنه لا يصيبهم ظمأ ولا نصب. That is because they will not be afflicted, or thirst will not afflict them, and not tiredness. Nasab could be toil also. So where's the ذلك بأنهم لا يصيبهم? Hum, this is a damir. This is also wajib. It has to come first. وَنَادَى نُوحٌ ابْنَهُ. Nuh called out his son. Can I bring ibnahu first? No, this is mumtani. No. وَنَادَى نُوحٌ رَبَّهُ فَقَالَ رَبِّ إِنَّ ابْنِي مِنْ أَهْلِي. And Nuh called out his Lord. Can I bring it first? No, it's mumtani here. So if it comes late and you have to answer this question, can you bring it first? And if it's not allowed, then it's prohibited. If it's allowed, it'll become jaiz. فَقَالَ رَبِّ إِنَّ ابْنِي مِنْ أَهْلِي. He said, oh my Lord, indeed my son is from my family. Man ra'ayta, whom did you see? So ra'ayta, man is the mafulun bihi. Can you bring it late? Ra'ayta man? No, mumtani'. I mean, it's wajib to bring first. It's wajib. Because we are not talking about, can this come second, late? We're talking about, should this be first always? Yes. So mumtani' means, can you bring it first? يعرف الفضل من الناس أهله. The fadl from the people can only be known by its people. أهله. That is, who are أهل الفضل? They'll only understand fadl. So أهله, can you bring it first? يعرف. No, there's a pronoun which is going back to fadl, no? So it's ممتنع. خاف ربه عمر. Umar feared his Lord. What? No. How can this be allowed, no? يشبه خاف عمر ربه. Hmm. I say, in the answers, they say it's wajib. But why is it wajib? Fail, maf'ul, fa'il, fine. Maf'ul is rabba. Why is it wajib? Which condition? بالفعل ضمير مفعول به. The ضمير there's no إذا حصر بإنما إذا كان اسما ظاهرا والمفعول ضميرا متصلا. No, this statement is wrong from what I understand. It doesn't fit anything here. Allahu alam, I don't understand this one. Because you cannot do this. The whoosh is going back to what? That means his Lord, he feared Omar. This cannot be the case. Allahu alam, I don't understand. Anyways, التدريب الثاني مثل لما يأتي في جمل مفيدة وبين سبب حكم تقديم المفعول به. You have to make sentences. So مفعول به واجب التقديم على الفاعل. So it's mandatory. So وإذ ابتلى إبراهيم ربه. It's wajib here because ربه, no? A second مفعول به جائز التقديم على الفاعل. لو ضرب زيد عمرا, you can say ضرب عمرا زيد, fine, جائز, it's allowed. مفعول به ممتنع التقديم على الفاعل. It's not allowed. ضرب عيسى موسى. That's not allowed to bring Musa first, then Isa, because there's labs fees. مفعول به واجب التقديم. I hope you understand because there's too many conditions. What you have to do is pause the video, look into it, and try to understand what this is. See, it's maf'ul bihi. Okay, object. Second, it's wajib, mandatory. Fine. Wajib al-taqdeem. Mandatorily, it should be first. Ala al-fa'li, on the verb as well as the file. Verb as well as the file. When it has to come, like in the starting, total in the starting, it should come like for questions. أيما تدعو فله الأسماء الحسنى. So it has come totally in the starting. That means 3, 1, 2 in the order, if you remember. When? Because you have أسماء الاستفهام. ألفاظ الصدارة. مفعول به جائز التقديم على الفعل والفاعل. It's جائز. مفعول به, you can do فعل وفاعل. You can do you can do like in the last example ففريقا كذبتم. It's allowed. You can do that. املأ الفراغ في الجمل التالية. Fill in the blanks. سألت الكبرى الصغرى كتابا. The big one asked the small one book. المفعول به أول. So which is the مفعول به أول? So we say it's صغرى. Because we cannot see the endings here, we are assuming it's in the correct order. The big girl asked the small girl a book. So صغرى is the object. And this is the second object, by the way. A book. إنا هديناه السبيل. المفعول به أول. هديناه. Indeed, we guided him. This is the first object. They guided him the path. إياك نعبد. المفعول به هو. What is the مفعول به? It is ka. The ka is the مفعول به. أجلسنا عيسى هنا. We made Isa sit here. المفعول به is Isa. أجلسناه هنا. المفعول به here. We made him sit here. Who? ما فعل هذا إلا أنت. And this nobody has done except you. So which is the مفعول به? هذا. How do you know that? Anta cannot be. You are the one who did this. So this is the maf'ulun bi. Innama amarnaka anta. Innama amarnaka anta. Al-maf'ulun bihi huwa. So amara ya'muru is to command. We did not command you except you. Why there's two cars? Innama amarnaka. We have only commanded you. Mafulun bihi is ka. The anta is for emphasis, I believe. Innama amarnaka. That means you have only commanded you. The anta is for emphasis, I think, because there cannot be ka and anta again. I don't know. محمد أسمعناه الخبر. المفعول به أول أسمعناه. Muhammad, we made him hear the news. من ضربت, whom did you hit? مفعول به هو من. أجلس ابنه سعيد. Make his son sit. That means Saeed's son sit. Ibnahu, it should be. Al-mafulun bihi here is ibnahu. Oh, yeah, the whole thing. Actually, ibna is the mafulun bihi. Okay, تدريب مثل. So you have to bring فعل فاعل مفعول به جائز. Now فعل فاعل. So you need to فعل ضرب حامد خالدا. This is جائز. You can play around with it. فعل فاعل مفعول به واجب. فعل فاعل مفعول به واجب. فعل فاعل مفعول واجب. So you want a correct order. واجب. So ضرب. ضرب عيسى موسى. It's واجب. You cannot play around here. ضرب عيسى موسى. فعل مفعول به فاعل. ضربه زيد. جائز. Oh, he wants جائز. جائز, you can give anything. ضرب حامدا خالد. فعل مفعول به فاعل واجب. فعل مفعول فاعل. Make it a pronoun. ضربه زيد. مفعول به فعل فاعل جائز. You can make anything. You can say زيدا ضرب حامد. مفعول به فعل فاعل. In questions you can do this. Man darabta. Man darabta. It's wajib here to bring man in the starting. Fa'ilun damirun mafulun bihi dhahir. He wants a fa'il pronoun and mafulun bihi dhahir. Darabta or fahimta darsa, like they gave the example. Fahimta darsa. Fa'ilun dhahirun. Fa'il should be clear word. Daraba hamidun. Mafulun bihi damir. So darabahu hamidun. Fa'il maful damiran. Damiran inna a'tainaka al-kawthar. Okay, both are pronouns. Fa'il maful dhahiran. Daraba hamidun khalidan. Both are dhahir. I hope you understand these things, right? Inshallah ta'ala. I try to explain how much ever I could, but it's a little tricky. You have to know several things. You have to read other grammar books, and then you'll be able to understand. Inshallah. We have qira'atul muwassa'a, extensive reading, and kitaba al-bahr. And then we have ikhtibarul awwal, first exam. So maybe we can, yeah, inshallah. It'll take us time. And then we could read this in our next class, inshallah ta'ala, and give the exam, which will be the mid exam, inshallah ta'ala. So before Ramadan, I think we can do one more unit, maybe. Unit 5. And then we can come back after Ramadan and do 6, 7, 8, inshallah ta'ala, after Ramadan. And then finish this book and then start unit 9. It'll take us 1 more year, 1.5 years to finish this book, maybe. See you. Barakallahu feekum. Jazakallahu khairan. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.